Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce Mr. Maksim Niagolov. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me here.
No problem. And could you just give like a short introduction for some of the viewers at home?
Yeah, my name is Maxim, and I'm CEO at Digitmind Technologies. It's a small studio, software development studio, where we develop mostly native mobile applications for iOS and Android, and also web services. Also combine position. I combine two positions. First is the CEO, and the second one is as the CTO um, at Darwin Intelligence, where we develop also web services and AI services, mostly linked with the speech analysis and large language models.
And could you just kind of give an overview of like how you got from basically a child to where you are right now, currently being a CEO CTO of Darwin Intelligence and CEO of Digitmind?
Um, I was born in Russia, in the eastern part of it, in the
Siberia.
eastern Siberia. Yeah, the most coldest place in the world. Not in the world, yeah, Antarctic probably the coldest, right? Yeah, one of the most coldest places. But I'm from the southeastern part. It's called Buryatia. I'm from Ulan-Ude city, uh, and most of my life, I was born and lived my childhood over there, and uh, graduated from the university, also in Ulan-Ude, and as a computer sciences. Actually, our university is quite good. I kind of most precious time probably in my life. Yeah, I'm not sure if precious is a suitable word here, but yeah, whatever. Uh, yeah, after graduation, started to work as a software engineer in a banking field. I was working as a IT manager, database manager. Um, after a couple years, figured out that it's not particularly suitable for me, and I started. I thought maybe I need to switch my job, and I decided and found a place in the in the tour company as an IT manager. So and went abroad and was working for quite a while as an IT manager in a tour company. Also, quite a nice time. Met a lot of people, interesting people. Improved somehow my English skills. Yeah, it's still kind of not perfect. Still struggle with it, but yeah. Uh, and since then, I started to mm, um, learn some mobile development and became an iOS development because since the appearance of iPhone and iPad devices, I was a fan of Apple devices, and I thought, why not? Because when it just appeared, when I became an iOS developer, there were not so many mobile applications at that time. Even the iPad even didn't have a calculator. I'm not sure how about now, but probably this application already appeared as a default application. But back then, iPad didn't have this application. So my first application that I developed was a calculator for iPads. And since then, I started to develop some mobile applications and participated in different companies. Was working in different companies, participated in different projects. And
And that was how you got into so you studied computer science in East Siberian University, which is a very nice name.
yeah,
Um, so you said it was the best time of your life, right?
yeah. I think that this period of life it doesn't matter basically where you live because it is a time when you are young and it's kind of everything is new for you and so yeah for everyone this period of life is the most kind of interesting, I guess.
And then through that journey, you did a bunch of different jobs all around not all around, but you did it in South Korea and also in the United States I'm correct. And
Actually, I've never lived in United States. I just was working
remotely.
remotely. Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Nowadays, I think it's quite a common thing to work remotely. Uh,
But yeah,
yeah. So
and just kind of, so when you were in high school and then like college, right? What were some, so you, what was the reason you got into computer science? And then what were some, I guess, challenges you faced along the way?
yeah, what is the reason? I always like computers since my early childhood. Back then, there were such devices like old Soviet computers.
Yeah.
The name electronica, and so first my first introduction to computers was through these old Soviet devices, and since then there were some computer games developed by kind of a long time ago. And so I was playing these computer games in the school. Actually, there were some classes for computer to learn some programming. I don't remember the language, the programming language, but
Yeah.
some uh, old old computer language common in Russia, in Soviet Union, and something. Yeah, just don't remember. And yeah, so we were learning how to write these computer games. Some very simple how to draw some figures like rectangulars and triangulars, circles, and yeah. So was my first experience with computers, and since then I kind of like it this field. And when I graduated from school, from high school, I started to kind of thought maybe I should keep this career, like, and learn something more kind of um, uh, advanced
Advanced.
learn it more
You learned more
basically.
and you
Yeah.
became more advanced.
Yeah.
And so you just instantly fell in love in like high school or like younger than high school?
Younger than high school,
Whoa.
like in the
Middle school, elementary, that
yeah,
age?
yeah, elementary probably.
Mm. And since you just focused on computer science or just related to machines and computers, and what were some, did you face any kind of, because you were born in the hard Siberian and Soviet Union times, how was it like? And did you face any challenges?
Yeah, definitely. My childhood was in the most difficult time in Russia. It was 90s, right? It's kind of transformation of the Soviet Union collapse. Into, it was even so, it was a democratic period of time, probably the most free timing. But economically, it was difficult. I remember that for my parents, it was very difficult, a difficult time, very stressful. Yeah, so yeah, this was quite a challenging time. But I was a child, so I kind of did not understood everything, all of this. But yeah, there were some struggles. It was difficult to, but everywhere computers were so expensive, and so it was difficult to acquire a new equipment, new computer. But yeah.
So it was mostly a lot of economical just challenges.
Not only economical, also the crime rate. The crime rate
Oh,
was very high in Russia. Also now it's not not the low. It's still high. The crime rate is still high in Russia, but I would say so. Um but back then in 90s it was even higher. So
mm.
yeah, it was a tough time.
Tough time to say the
Yeah.
least.
It's better. It was better than now, I guess. Yeah, but
Really?
yeah, I think so. Because you know this situation between the war between Russia and Ukraine is kind of
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
it is the toughest time, I think, for all of us, especially for
When did you start your current company, or is this your first company? Is this your second or third, fourth company?
yeah, I started my company not so long time ago, just a couple years, not already 5 years ago, I guess. Was my first experience running a company, and it was a startup. Startup. Um, I was developing some mobile applications, uh, uh, but after some time, the first experience was not very successful, and uh, particularly because of the COVID situation. It was quite difficult to receive some investments, finances. Mm, so this project was not very successful, and I decided to close it. And after some time, I um, I decided to run it all over again because I found it that it's something that I really like. I really like to work on. And about 3 years ago, I don't know,
Was
2 years ago, 2 years ago, I decided to run it all over again.
mm, so you began your first company during or during the COVID times, and that didn't really work out because of the lack of funding, and then you started your current company, Digitmind.
Yeah. Initially, it was based in Russia, but after the war, I relocated my company to another country.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
and now you're in Korea, and what brings you to South Korea? Do you work with South Korean companies?
yeah. A friend of mine introduced me with this company, and we started to collaborate together. And since then, we are working. Since then, I'm working in the Darwin Intelligence, uh, 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 um, such a advanced country company, and such a good experience. We are working on different projects, advanced projects. Uh, uh, in the new field. I would say new field, even so it's the deep learning artificial intelligence. It's quite old, old. It's technologies that did not appear just recently. It's here for a while already. But for mass public, it's kind of the um, uh, an introduction of AI for mass public probably happened not that long time ago, right?
Yeah, ChatGPT.
Yeah, especially since appearance of ChatGPT and image generative technologies
And
for mass public.
and your current company, Digitmine, is kind of like an agency helping other companies, and your current company, the other company you have it, or you work as a CTO and is, yeah, intelligence and AI related. Am I correct?
Yeah, right. Our company, Digitmind, providing outsource and out stuff from Central Asian region, from Mongolia, from Kazakhstan, from other Central Asian countries to the rest of the world. Because our people from Central Asia, and from Mongolia, they're very very skillful, and in general population are very um, uh, population educated and well educated, and it's easy to work with people from Central Asia, from Mongolia, and this is what we are doing. We connect Central Asian region with the world, with the rest of the world.
And does that come from like your background, or is that just an opportunity you saw?
It's boss. I guess I would say boss because it's my background first of all, and also it's because probably my connections, and also I saw the opportunity to work with the region because right now I see that it's underrepresented on the market, and there's a lot of opportunities in the region.
And so your company right now, what's your so just give me a like every day, like a day in your life, like an average day. What do you kind of do? So you wake up at what time, and then what do you do? When do you eat, and then what do you go through? As a
Yeah.
CEO of CTO of Darwin Intelligence and CEO of Digitmind.
Yeah, these days my schedule is a little bit messed up. I start my day in the early morning and I finish in the late night. Yeah, so it's a little bit messed up. So, and my goal is to uh, somehow return it, somehow to change it to keep the work and life balance.
Mm.
But yeah, I start at 7 a.m. and I finish at sometimes at 3 a.m. But
Wow.
yeah, it's I know that it's not that healthy, and I don't recommend it to other people. But yeah, um, this is how it is right now.
And what do you kind of do most of the day? So for as your CEO, you don't do the day-to-day programming mostly, but what kind of functions do you mostly do?
Yeah. Actually, nowadays I also do programming because this is my passion. This is what I like to do. I like exploring new technologies, new libraries, frameworks, programming languages, and yeah, this is what I do these days, and it takes quite a lot of time. And but additionally to this, since I'm a CTO, tech lead, and CEO, it takes a lot of time to organizing, to managing the team, managing projects, and communicating with the customers. So it's quite time consuming.
And how? So while you're doing it, are there any lessons you learn being a CEO and being a CTO, leading other people in a very technical field?
Yeah, it's quite challenging, especially forming. The most difficult part probably it's forming teams and managing teams. If you find good, I think that for tech people, all of us have approximately the same mindset. We kind of easily get along with each other. So I think that it's quite easier to if you find good people, then that have the same um, I already mentioned that all of us have the same mindset, right? But
Mm.
sometimes it could be not that. But if you find people with the same mindset, it would be easy for you to work with them and to uh, handle deals and some issues that appears.
So management isn't like a big issue, or at least how friendly and the relationship between your employees.
Yeah. I think that it's one of the most important parts, the relationships in the team. Like to it should not be stressful to work, right? And so we need to keep this keep this part healthy in the team, and to keep it healthy sometimes could be challenging. You need to because still, even so, we have the same mindset. All developers, and somehow everyone have the same have its their own character, have their own temperament, and sometimes could be challenging to keep everyone on the same
Same idea and same
same
objective.
idea,
Yeah.
and to keep the team on the same track. Yeah,
And through your journey, right? Like what were some like cool, interesting like experiences or stories you could tell from anywhere from middle school all the way till this portion of your life leading companies?
oh, quite difficult question.
Ah,
Yeah.
just it doesn't have to be the best. Just something that comes up on your mind, like one or two or three.
Mm. Um, yeah, I think the most interesting part, not interesting part, the part that I recommend to everyone is to move abroad, at least for some time, and broad your broad your horizons, meet new people, and
Is
yeah,
podcasting
open your
is
mindset. Yeah.
podcasting a good way of doing that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I asked you to participate in your podcast.
Oh, thank you. Um, yeah, I guess my perspective is very interesting as well, but yours is very, because you come from a Soviet background and you work in Korea, old Soviet. But yeah, so any like, do you have any oh, like my story was kind of like there was a specific day, like some kids messed with me, and I remember I was in this little corner, I was crying, or I remember when I figured out like I was coding, right, and then I finally made it for a hackathon, and then there was a guy who was in charge, and he was like, "You're good enough to be hired as a junior front end," and I was like, "Yeah," like something like that. Yeah, like when like it can be anything. It can be like one bug you fix, which is the happiest day of your life.
Yeah. You know, when I created my first application, and when I saw it on public, even so it was just a calculator.
Ah,
Yeah.
the good old
Yeah.
calculating.
Yeah. 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 Even so, it was just a calculator. When I saw it in the public usage, when I saw first people who downloaded this application from the App Store, I was so happy. Like it was the first experience, like um, uh, publishing some product for mass public, right? And yeah, I was really happy at the time. And since then, I kind of this is what make all developers happy when they release some product and when they enjoy that other people uh, uh, when they see that other people download it and enjoy this application. Yeah,
Mm,
this is what
yeah,
yeah.
and that's the satisfaction of being
Yeah,
a developer,
yeah.
because I think I am like kind of a developer, but I'm like I get a bit too annoyed by the bugs because I'm like, yeah. Are you? What do you feel about the bugs when you're coding? Like, are you like I'm gonna? Are you angry or what do you feel?
No, I think you should not be angry about the bugs. The bugs could happen, right? It's a kind of it's I shouldn't say it's a normal thing, right? But it's kind of they always could happen. We could not predict everything, even for such a huge companies like the Google, Meta. Bugs from time to time appears, right? It's a normal process. Yeah, but so they when they appear, you just need to prevent critical bugs at any cost, right? With some small minor bugs, it could appear, and you just need to fix it as quick as possible. You need to uh, uh, set your um, tech process to avoid such bugs, and if they appear, you just need to be able to quickly resolve it. Quickly resolve these issues.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting. I just when I code because I'm still new to coding, right? I don't know exactly how you go through to kind of solve it as as easily or as fast as you could do because you have more experience. And but at this current stage of coding, right? What kind of things interest you? Like, what are some technical specific things that you feel like it's challenging and it's fun for you? Like you feel specifically in AI that people might not know of.
Yeah, the most challenging is of course acquiring some new technologies, and it's at the same time it's very interesting when you learn something new, right? And especially some new complex technology, some new frameworks, right? Uh, this is the most challenging, right? To catch up with something something new, and some technologies that appeared just recently on the market. Uh,
And what are some techno? So okay, I'm gonna change my question a bit.
mhm.
So what are some? So everyone knows AI is a big industry right now, but what do you? So for people, young people, for like high schoolers, college students, or people who just began their journey, what do you think it's a good idea, a good industry to kind of focus on, and maybe something even specific within that, where it would be beneficial and it would allow them to have a good career, and if they want to be CEOs and business people, like make good money.
I think in the future, AI would be in every field, in every industry. So learning, yeah, it's not necessarily for everyone to learn AI, but learning some basics in programming would be beneficial, I think. But anyway, it's already introduced to every school, even in the elementary school nowadays. Kids learning some programming skills. So
Yeah,
basically, it's not an advice. It's just it's for
sure. But on AI, in the AI field, since you're a CTO of an like a AI company, what specific things you think there's a lack of employees that people could help out? Because right now I heard in some ways the software, like the coding place, is very competitive, but in some industries it's not very competitive.
it's very difficult to recommend something that will happen in the future because no one knows what exactly will happen, right? But uh, yeah, I think learning some engineering specialty would be good in any field. Like if you know some basics, if you know basis, not basics, basis in any science in any field, it would be beneficial. Health, IT industry, like engineering, some construction, whatever industry, machinery, everything would be culture, arts, arts, everything. If you're a specialist in any industry, whatever you like the most, it would be. And if you feel that it's really for you, if you become specialist in this field, you would be on demand.
So it's just about specializing. So there is no one answer, like because in a lot of places I see, it's kind of like it kind of says you can buy kind of be a step specialist, but it always says, oh, this kind of specific industry being this or this is the best way. But you disagree, and you just say just specialize on what you think is best.
Yeah, of course, you need to you need to broaden your knowledge. You need to know as much as possible, but you need to specialize in something one. Like you should not, because we don't have we don't have enough time to learn everything, to be a specialist and an expert in everything, right? So you need to focus on something one, in some one field, and be an expert in this field, and yeah, the hobby you can learn something additional, right? But you need to be an expert in something one.
Hmm. And so in your experience, um, what are some issues you're facing right now in your companies, like big issues, or maybe in the future things that might come across in AIs?
Yeah. The biggest issue is, of course, instability in the world nowadays, especially since this since the war.
Yeah, we keep going back to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
war.
yeah, 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 yeah. We keep going back to this topic. Yeah, the instability in the world is the biggest issue.
For your company right now.
Not only for my company, yeah, of course, for my company also. In the world in general, it's the biggest issue.
Mm.
Uh,
So I was kind of thinking like technological, like AI, because I heard AI, because I heard Sam Altman saying AI, they don't even themselves understand how it makes it. They kind of understand, but they don't understand it fully. And then like about how AI is going to destroy the world. But you think right now is a political instability and economic instability around the world from various different regions.
yeah, yeah. This is for now, at this moment, this is the biggest issue. I don't think that the current technology, current uh, AI is something that, yeah, well, of course, some professions, some specialities, some fields would be taken by the AI, but it's not something that everyone should worry about. Of course, the progress is not is not how to say progress
As fast?
is not stops.
Um,
Is not stopping. It's always kind of moving forward, and uh, and of course some industries will be kind of upgraded and modified in some ways, right? And of course they will some jobs that exist right now, they will be simplified and taken by the machines, like some
Mm.
assembly, some simple and simple procedures to assemble something, whatever, right? Some probably in the agriculture, the most hard, the most difficult task, uh, 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 some manual work, hard labor work would be taken by the robots, by AI. I'm not sure about the generative AI because it's too early for now, right?
Mm.
But yeah, of course, in the future, in some period of time, it will be some generative AI will be very helpful
Yeah.
in the field,
There was like
in
one.
our life.
Yeah. There was like this one artwork that won like some art competition, and it was all AI generated actually. But that's art, and that's different. And you're saying so most people don't have to. They don't have to worry, and like it'll replace the job, but your job will be upgraded, like the industrial revolution, or like how computers changed like
Yeah.
accountants from writing to
Yeah,
typing.
I expect that 100 years ago, people were working for 14 hours, for their life was very difficult. They were kind of everything was the the they were living for very short. Their life was very short, and because of these difficulties, right? But the more we progressing, the life will become easier. Nowadays, there's this work. There's some. So the
Work
life,
life balance,
yeah,
like you said.
the life progressed. All of a sudden, I forgot my English. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, the in compare with what was 100 years ago, and especially 200, 300 years ago, the life way easier, way simpler. And for instance, if people 100 years later would compare the life now, they also would think that, oh, people who lived 100 years ago, they will live in such a hard life, etc. Yeah, I assume that the work-life balance will be improved over time, and the AI technologies, generative AI, will be would be very beneficial.
So you think it'll benefit in the work life balance, but it's not too big that it'll just destroy everyone's job, and like dystopia will happen pretty soon.
No, I don't think that AI will destroy it. It's just a tool to make our life easier. And it's not to destroy something. It's to create something new, right?
Yeah. And what are your kind of so on the AI point, what are your kind of goals, or if you don't want to talk about goals, kind of like trajectories you want to go with your company, like what you want to kind of do in the future, like 5 to 10 years?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. This one proverb, never talk about your
Never talk about your goals.
never talk about your goals, right?
Oh,
But yeah, yeah, of course, everyone wants to be successful. Everyone wants to be happy. So this is my goals
yeah.
in the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah. But yeah, I think
Yes.
that I'm already quite happy, but I want to be happier. Like everyone want to be happy and
Yeah.
happy. Yeah.
And then
I want my family, people around me to be also happy and successful.
that's amazing. And and by and the proverb is really interesting because the previous client, he also told, because I was telling him like I told my goals to some people, and a lot of them kind of mocked me. They were like, "You can't do that. No, you can't. No, no, don't dream like that." But then he told me, "Don't tell your goals, because like just do it and then tell people maybe." So where does that quote come from, and why do you believe in that?
Um, I think it's from the ancient. It's a kind of era. People always were talking that they never talk about it. Well, might be some superficial, right? In some ways, and but also it's probably because if you voice your goals, and if it's not happened, like, right, and you probably would be a little bit embarrassed
Mm.
like after some time, right? If you kind of voiced out to everyone like I will do this, I will do that, and if none of this happened, like you would be a little bit embarrassed. Maybe this is also the reason.
Mm. And our previous guest, what he said, the reason why was there was a scientific study done, and it showed that if you actually told your goals to other people, you got the same satisfaction you got.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I also think the same way that if yeah, right, this satisfaction factor, like when you already think that when you voice it, you already feel satisfied about this goal, and you don't put enough as much effort as you would put if you want
Sure.
uh,
Because I
voice
want,
it.
because you would rather want to make it, so then you can tell to other people. Because if you can't tell the goal, then you should only do that. But if you get the goal, you're like everyone's like, oh, okay, you're good. Oh, that goal
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
nice. But then, and then you also said you want to be successful. Do you not feel you're successful at the moment? And what do you kind of define success as?
Yeah, success also quite a complex thing, right? Everyone could be successful in what they assume is a success, and for everyone, success could vary from even for one individual. Success could be different over time, right? When you at certain time you have one definition of the success, and after some time you have another definition of success. So might be today I think that success is one thing, and tomorrow I think that success is something completely different.
Hmm. So for you personally, if I'm correct, it seemed like you're at like you have something you want, and then you get it, and then you feel like happy, but you also want more, and that's because you said you're already happy at the moment, but you just want to be more happier.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Maybe to feel happy is a success, right?
Hmm.
And
But not just like, oh, I ate a burger, I'm happy. It's more like you said family and other things, because your job is pretty stressful as a CEO as well, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But in my opinion, even stressful job is, and if you feel satisfaction of what after what you are doing, then it also could be counted as a success, right?
Mm. Yeah, I heard. So it was like, um, there's happiness and there's fulfillment. Fulfillment is like it's hard. Like when you exercise or when you build something like a project, it's not sometimes not the most fun, or maybe not for you. But then when you finish it,
I also enjoy some activities like physical
no, no,
activities. I
not
go to the
fitness. I'm
gym
saying
and
coding.
yeah,
I'm saying because
mhm.
from what I understand, it seems like when you code, you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
No, 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 you're
Yeah,
not.
yeah. Uh,
Sometimes you feel, sometimes like once in a year, you feel kind of stressed at the code, right?
yeah, of course. Stress is always presented. Like when you have a short deadline to deliver some project, there's definitely a stress. But, you just need to manage it somehow, right?
And on the stress and managing, did you watch The Social Network?
Uh, it's necessarily.
Yeah, it was Mark Zuckerberg. Because a lot of coders I heard they got into it because they watched it. It's like a, I don't think it's a documentary, but it's like a movie about how Mark Zuckerberg was drinking tequila and then coding and then built Facebook, and then all the legal stuff that happened with his partners or partners. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it when this movie, right?
Yeah.
This movie quite a long time ago, but don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Don't remember the uh, plot of this movie. But
Okay.
yeah, just rough ideas.
Hmm. Because I think it's like the Gen Z or our generation, a lot of them were motivated by those movies to begin, but yours was just the Soviet machine that inspired you to get into the coding and programming areas. And what are some things you do? So, okay, mm, cut, cut. Um, what are what are some advices or things that you did in your younger days that allowed you to be where you at that you think was very important in your own journey?
Uh, you know, when I was a child, I was often playing some strategy, some computer games, such as Civilization and other games like Hero of Magic and etc. It's a kind of all strategies,
Yeah,
kind of. Uh,
chess.
yeah. By the way, chess. Yeah, chess. I think that it's very helpful in developing your mind.
Mm. What opening do you like in chess?
Because there's so many different variants, and you
Yeah,
need to calculate all of these different variants, how everything will happen in the future.
and what was your favorite opening? Like I like Queen's Gambit because I watched the movie.
Um, you know, uh,
You're not a chess player.
yeah, but for me it's a little bit difficult to operate in English.
Ah,
Yeah.
so so on the strategy games, that was important for you developing. Was there something else also that you did?
Uh,
Like you didn't hang out with the wrong people, or you chose to like work hard when you were younger?
yeah, right. I was living my childhood. I spent in such a not the best neighborhood, not the best neighborhood, and
East Siberia wasn't
yeah,
the best neighborhood.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it was the best
yeah,
neighborhood.
yeah. Uh, Maybe in some ways, yeah. In the city where I was living, um, I mentioned that the crime rate was quite high, and particularly in my neighborhood, the crime rate was especially high, and a lot of people who were not kind of not the best connections that you could have as a child, as a kid, right? So you need to be on track. You always need to think about your future. Like even as a child, you need to think I think a lot depends on your parents also. My parents, for instance, always when they for instance, I saw some homeless people. Yeah, of course, it's kind of controversial also question, but I saw some people who were looking not in the best shape in life, and I asked my parents, why this person looks so bad, and my parents, my grandparents always told me like, if you won't study, you would be the same. They never controlled me like how I study, what I'm doing, but they were kind of it was probably some psychological
Mm.
pressure, like if you won't study, you would be this person, like, and
Th-
this is kind of sit deep down in my mindset.
Is that like a thing with like, because my father was also born in Soviet Union times, and my mother, and they both don't really control me in studying. They just are like, yeah, if you don't work, son, it's not gonna go great. If you do, it's gonna go great. So is
Yeah.
that like a Soviet thing? You think?
Mm, I think so. In some ways, but I think that it's basically everywhere. Like it's not only Soviet. People are basically the same everywhere in the world. Like whenever you go, people have the same mindset, the same attitude, and this this is not this is not only in uh, this is not only a Soviet thing, right?
Yeah.
It's a common thing, I
It's
guess.
just like for example, in South Korea and this China, Japan, those regions, and even South Asia, from what I've heard, and even India, is kind of like it's very the parents. There's like the Korean tiger. I think it's called the tiger mom. Like she controls every single thing. Like you have to do this. You have to do this. You're gonna go to Hagwon. You have to study. If you don't, they're gonna check on you every once in an hour. Like, oh, you're not studying, son. Like I heard that's a pretty common thing. America, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think it's just a stereotype. I know a lot of people who the different experiences, and for some people it was really kind of tiger mom, but tiger mom is presented not only in the Asian community but also other communities, right? So I don't think that it's only some Asian thing, right? It could be presented everywhere, like
For sure. It's
yeah.
just I went to Korean school and I went to international schools in South Korea,
Mhm.
and like almost every Korean, whenever I ask them, they're like, yeah, my mom and dad forces me to study 24/7.
Yeah.
Or but for sure, it's met some other people whose parents are more cool, but after on that point afterwards, um, so your parents were kind of like that, and you play a lot of strategy games and you like coding, and then there was a lot of crime rate, and did that kind of harden you up as a person to deal with stress? Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely, it brought some. It could this could develop your character in some ways.
And then
I don't think that my character is kind of developed, but but yeah, it could develop some yeah, your character in some in a better way.
um, how is Siberia?
Siberia is yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, but it depends on your it depends on 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 the person, right? Something that some people think that it's kind of too tough. For me, the climate is probably the toughest, and especially in the winter time. But the summer probably is the best, the
Mm.
best in the world. The temperature is always kind of 25, 20, 21, 21, 25 degrees, 30 degrees sometimes. But
In
it's
Siberia.
yeah, Siberia,
Oh.
in my region, not everywhere, of course. So and the humidity is not as high in as in comparison with the tropical countries. So I think that the summertime is
Mm.
the best. Not also the nature is very nice.
Do you think it's
Yeah, so the summertime is the best time to spend in Siberia.
mm,
It's not it's not something that the people uh, assume when they first came to some a person mind, right? When they think about Siberia, but in my opinion, summertime is the best in Siberia. But the winter, of course, it's quite uncomfortable. Minus 35 degrees
mm.
is a very common thing in even in the southern part of Siberia. But yeah, what what I like the most about living in the in the modern time, that you can spend uh, uh, one period of the year in one region, another period of the year in another region. So those, kind of modern nomadism, right? Some sort
Mm.
of.
Yeah, and so you like moving around because of modernism. So have you? What countries have you been around, or do you want to in the future?
I like to travel, but unfortunately, I did not travel. I do not travel as much as I would like to, and most of my travel experience was based in the Asian region. I've been in most Asian countries: Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, like Southeast Asia, China, South Korea. But yeah, I would like to travel in different other regions. But yeah, of course, nowadays it's a little bit difficult to travel to Europe, and yeah. But I would like to travel every like Africa, Latin America. This is this is the destinations that I would like to visit at some point of my life.
Mm.
Just to see and experience